One of the big concepts in designing a program is understanding what I just kind of think of as up weeks and down weeks. So up weeks are where you are trying to progress and build up within the current kind of program or regime that you have. And then down weeks are times when you want to schedule in some rest and recovery. Now, if you are kind of a beginner lifter, you probably don't need down weeks just yet. But as you become more intermediate and advanced, that's going to be critical to you making sustained progress. So let me give you the basics of sort of how this works. Let's say that we're doing a bench press routine, and in week 1 it calls for a few sets of 200 pounds at 6 repetitions. So that's what we were able to kind of achieve, and that's a tough weight. In the second week, we're able to increase the weight a little bit, but maybe we're only able to do 5 repetitions. In the third week, now we are able to do 6 repetitions at the same weight, so we basically have a nice little incremental progress week to week. And then in week 4, our progress actually drops down. Not on purpose, but we're just not able to replicate or improve upon our previous week. So when something like this happens, what is going on? Well, the basic idea is that you have adapted to this current program, and it's no longer going to return results, and we need to change things up. What most people will find is that for certain exercises and for certain types of training, which we're going to get into more, they're going to be able to sustain a certain number of up weeks of where you're actually making a little bit of progress, where things are feeling easier, you're doing more weight, more repetitions, more sets, whatever the case may be, until it stops and your progress actually starts decreasing. What you want to start understanding is how many up weeks you can do before your progress actually tends to decrease. And then you want to get out ahead of that and actually schedule a recovery week here. So in this case, right, we have 1, 2, 3 weeks up where we're making some progress. And then instead of trying to have a 4th up week, which we know is unlikely for this person in this situation, we're actually going to schedule a rest week. So what that would look like instead would maybe be doing something like 185 for some sets of 3, right? You're doing enough work just to stimulate those muscles and continue practicing the movement. So when you come back in for week 5, you're fresh and switched on, but it's enough rest and recovery that now we can change the program, so either a different exercise variation, a different repetition bracket, or something of that nature, and we can continue to make some progress with another 3 up weeks, if that makes sense, before we want to have a down week or a back off week. So this is kind of how longer term planning typically goes. And you're going to find that some people are able to have 4 up weeks. Some people are only able to have 2. It's very individual. It's also going to depend on the type of exercise you're doing. So maybe your upper body lifts respond differently than your lower body lifts. And you also want to think about the type of training you're doing. So if you're doing higher volume, i.e. more repetitions and a little bit less weight, you may be able to do that and sustain progress on that for a longer or shorter period of time compared to higher intensity sets where you're doing fewer total number of repetitions but higher total percentages and weights of your 1 rep max. So those are just some ideas to kind of get you started, get you thinking about long-term planning within fitness and how to understand when and why you need a back-off week and when and why you may need to actually change up the basic structure of your week-to-week program. Phone's ringing, I gotta go, and that's all I got for you on this.